Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to another episode of True Carpet with your best friend duo, LoveLoudd LLC. It is me, Monie, and to my right, I have
Chiquita Banana.
We're back to
known
that.
as Yaya.
Nobody has ever called you Chiquita Banana.
I call myself that.
Sometimes, it's not often. Welcome. We are glad to have you here, back in your ears for a brand new episode. Before we get into it, of course, we have to check in. How you been?
Feels weird.
What's weird?
It feels like it's been over a month since we had a podcast.
Yeah, it ain't been that long.
It feels like it's been a long time. So, I've been great though. Aside from it feeling like it been, like it really
it's only been 2 weeks.
It feels like it's been a long time. But it's been funny because I've been in Brooklyn more these past couple of weeks than ever, and I have no one in Brooklyn. Like, I mean, you weren't here, and I didn't have anyone else to come visit here like I typically did. So it was just funny. Like, I'm spending more time in Brooklyn when there's nobody here to visit.
Well, what was you doing in Brooklyn? You was by yourself?
I wasn't. I came by myself, but I wasn't by myself.
So she was visiting people. So you do have people.
I was doing things. So the first weekend I went to the whole exhibit, and that was a good time. And then I ended up while I was here, one of my friends who lives in Brooklyn.
She has people.
So we ended up meeting up at a bar and hanging out. But just that whole day was really, really fun. The next weekend, I met up with our friend Choice, and we ended up having a girls' night, having drinks and chit-chatting with each other. And then, I feel like there was other stuff too, but it's just funny because, like, some people really think I live in Brooklyn. And it was just funny, well, not funny, haha, but like funny, annoying eye roll at my phone the other day because I was trying to look up movie tickets because I wanted to take myself out on a girls' date. And I'm like, why is it saying New York? Like, with the I was literally about to buy a ticket for Brooklyn, and I just went up and saw on Google it says lives like something that basically like my head search is Brooklyn. I'm like, when did I do this? Did I like was I going out with Monie? Was I going out with this person? Like, was I looking for something in New York? Did I just set my thing? Like, why does my phone?
Her phone thinks she lives in Brooklyn.
I know people think I live in Brooklyn, but my phone literally thinks I don't know how to take it off. But I had to just like go to the website and search my zip code and to find out the movie times. Like, I couldn't just do a general Google search.
Your phone don't even know where you at. It's not that smart.
But yeah, all in all, I've been good for the most part. I still have like weird moments, like when I like go into this like a weird space where I don't feel great. I don't feel bad. I just like feel like nothing, and it's weird. And I talked about that with my therapist. We had a session about that, which was really good. I don't know if it's the new moons. We had mad moons this month, or what's on retrograde right now, like what it is. But I'm just happy that my smiles are outweighing my frowns. So I'm in a really good space, hence my bright color. Today I'm happy with my bright smile and my radiant skin.
Okay.
You see that? And I put on the regular Tatcha today. I didn't put on the
regular what?
Tatcha. It's like you wash your face with it and then you put on the cream like that after.
That's how you put it on your face? Like beating your face up.
Yeah, you gotta slap it. You can't like you gotta be gentle with your
the way you smack the smack. It was not gentle. That sounded it's like you was drumming, girl.
I like that beat. But there's one is dewy and one is regular. And I use the regular one, I'm still glowing. God is good. How are you?
I am great. Tired, but I am great.
I have something to add when you share something because there's something else of how I was feeling based on what you're gonna share.
Okay. I just came back from I've been gone for 2 weeks, but I went on a 10-day Alaskan cruise with my family. It was me, my mom, two of my aunts, my cousin, and my grandmother. And
I had somebody from every generation.
Yeah, the only one that was missing was one of my auntie's daughters. So it was the oldest daughter of, the oldest grandchildren. So it was nice because originally my mom and my aunties was taking my grandmother because there's a story of my grandmother going to Alaska in her younger days. So they thought it would be nice for her to go back to Alaska with her daughters. And they've never gone on a trip with her. So they're like that. And I inserted myself on the trip because I was like, well, I've never gone on a vacation with my grandmother either. And that's a memory that I want to cherish. So my auntie was like, well, you might want to share a room with someone. Call my cousin. I was like, hey, we going on this cruise. She was like, yes. So shout out to my cousin for being my roommate on the trip. But it was great. It was really, really great. I learned some information about my family that I didn't know. And being around my aunts and my mom and watching them argue and squabble as siblings, I'm just like, y'all still do this like this as adults? It never stops. And just realizing how similar me and my mother truly are. Like that's my twin for real. Like y'all might as well just say y'all looking at my mama right now. Same mannerisms and everything. Like me and my mother are the same person. Like it was so funny on the trip. There were at some points I would be in one place, my mother would be in another place, and this guy at the jewelry store was like, hey, you look really familiar. Were you in here earlier today? And I was like, no. I was like, you know what? You probably saw my mother. So then he saw us later together in a different store. He was like, oh, that's right. Everyone thought we were twins. So it was a really, really great experience, especially getting to spend time with my family that I don't get to often because I'm way over here on the East Coast and everybody's still on the West Coast, except for my cousin. She's in Philly. But yeah, it was really, really nice. And I think the best part of it, aside from the time that I got to spend, I was truly on D&D because when you're on a cruise ship, you can't talk on the phone. There's no internet access. So the fact that I was able to truly unplug until I was on land, just to let people know, hey, I'm alive. I think that was the best part. I didn't need my phone for anything. My family was there. We were all on the same, with 2 doors down from each other. Go down, knock on the door. You ready for breakfast? Let's go. So yeah, it was really, really, really nice, especially unplugging from everything. So by the time I came back, I was like, what the hell is X? Apparently Twitter has changed to X. When I left, I had a blue bird on my phone. I came back, there was a black X. I said, I didn't download nothing.
You know what I thought? I was annoyed because I think I heard that something was going to be changing, but I didn't know what it was going to be. So I got up the next, whatever morning that they changed it on my phone, because not everyone had it the same day. I'm like, what the heck kind of dating app is this? Like, I just get on my phone and somebody send this to my phone. Like, I don't want these dating app things. Like, what is this on my phone? Like, and it seemed freaky too, because it was
freaky
because it was an X. So I was like, what kind of dating app thing is this? And I clicked it because I didn't want to just delete it. I clicked it and I was like, Twitter?
Right, what does this look like?
Is this
Twitter? At first I thought it was the Spill app because that one was black. And I was like, no. Then I thought it was the Instagram one. And I was like, no. Twitter done changed to X. They ain't even Twitter no more. No more tweet. So are we not tweeting nobody?
It's Xing Twitter for me.
Are you Xing them? Like they don't call it tweeting, what they call it Xing?
And did you get into it, honey? Because they changed, there's no more retweet and repost. They changed it to quote. Quote and repost or something like that.
But what is it called when I'm like posting something? Is it just a post? Is it an X?
I didn't even look at all.
It's not a tweet. So now it's a
plus sign or something.
It's a now I gotta do my research. What is it called when you post onto X?
I'm still calling it Twitter. And it's still a tweet and a retweet and a repost. It's still what it was.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
100% migrate to Spill.
Yeah, but
it's still weird for me using Spill. Like it's cute. I like the app and the layout and everything of it. It's just weird because a lot of my followers are still on Twitter. So
yeah. But that was the most interesting thing that I saw when I got back. I was so confused. But yeah, overall, it was a very, very wonderful trip. For those of you that are looking for an interesting place to travel to, definitely try out Alaska. Mother Nature did her thing in Alaska, okay? Let me just say that. I'm getting to it.
I'm like,
she, like the mountains and the snow and the glaciers, and it was so beautiful. The flowers, just the Mother Nature stamped in Alaska is so beautiful. I didn't get a chance to do any type of hiking, but if I were to ever go back, I would definitely do some hiking in Alaska. It was really, really, really nice. And I think I would also go during a time where it's supposed to be cold in Alaska, so I can actually see the glaciers before they start melting. Because where were we at? It was Juneau, Skagway, one of those. We were in Alaska melting. We thought that we needed to be bundled up. It was gonna be a little chilly. We like, oh, it's gonna be like it's supposed to be 65 degrees. Of course, that's not freezing cold, but at least we thought we needed like a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
We were hot. And we're like, oh, maybe it's because we're closer to the sun. Because it was so hot. And at one point it got up to 75. We were like, this is not what we're expecting. I could have wore shorts. I had on Timberland boots and a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, wow.
So yes, this time of year, Alaska summer, they actually do get a summer. 65 is actually kind of warm.
Nice.
Yeah, so, but it was very, very, very
You gotta
beautiful.
do your Googles before you go to trips.
Yeah, I mean, we did, but we didn't know that it was going to be warm. We figured Alaska is 65 degrees.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like looking up reviews of people that have gone on a trip before, what they think of it, etc.
So yeah, that's why we packed all that stuff based on what people said they packed for a trip. Oh, but anywho, but yes, for those of you that are looking to travel with your family or have never traveled with your family, I highly recommend, at least once if you can, to do a trip with your family. It's definitely a lot of fun. And we're planning for the next one. That's how much fun we had. We look forward to the next trip that we can get together, especially since we're all kind of spaced out. So getting together at least once a year or every other year for one big trip will be really, really, really nice. So yeah. But I enjoyed it. I can't wait for my next trip. I work to live. I don't live to work. I'm glad I can afford it.
So the one thing that at first when you were gone, when you left Cali, the first like maybe third day, it was weird because like I ain't got nobody to text these random things throughout the day. Like so I found myself being on X or Twitter. It was still Twitter at that time. I found myself being on Twitter more often because that friend that I typically text, oh my God, this happened or whatever. She's there, she's alive, but she in the ocean, she's floating around right now, so I can't text her.
Right, and I wasn't paying for that internet package.
Or I didn't know she would get the text message. And then the other thing is Simone has this thing where she texts the numbers of the day, like Sesame Street. So like magic numbers, so like the 222, 333, like whenever she catches it. Although I think she has this thing for 444, so I kind of always get 10, 10, 10, or I said 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, the pasta board.
Yes.
I always get the 10, I mean the 10, 10, the 11, 11 sometimes, but the 4, 4, I feel like I always, 444, I feel like I always get that. So when she got back to, I guess that's still America, right?
Everything I left the country. Alaska is still part of the United States, y'all. I did not leave the country.
When she got back to Cali, it was weird, but kind of like a nice feeling to get whatever time it was in that morning. Like, oh, I actually missed being reminded what time of day it is. So that was really, really nice to have.
One thing I did not know, Alaska is actually an hour behind California. So I was 4 hours behind.
Oh,
I was like, it messed up my whole, by the time I literally slept. By the time I got back to my room in Brooklyn, I literally slept the whole day. That's all that I could do. I was like, I didn't go outside.
You deserve it.
I didn't do nothing. I literally slept. I woke up, saw what time it was. I'm like, no, I'm still tired. Went right back to sleep. I didn't get up for nothing. I think once to get food, and then I went right back to sleep.
FaceTime.
I feel kind of rejuvenated. I did. But that's while I was eating. It was the same time.
She loves me.
So yeah, it was really, really, really fun. I loved it.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that you loved that. Thanks for checking in.
I know you're glad to have me back. Like I never left.
I mean, I appreciate the moments of leaving, so then I could appreciate you better and more.
I hope so. Absence makes the
now
heart grow fonder. Where you going?
You will see. The people will see once I book my flight.
Is this before our trip in November?
Yeah, it's gonna be before.
Oh, you ain't booked no ticket? Oh, she wall. You ain't booked no ticket for something in a few weeks?
I deserve it.
Okay. Anywho, that's what we have for our check-in. Now we're gonna head into the rundown for this here episode. So, in this episode 12 of Truth Carpet Season 4, we're going to first jump into our icebreaker. We're going to be playing 2 truths and a lie. Then heading on over into Suite 223, Yaya will be giving us some poetry. Y'all will have to tune in to find out exactly what that piece will be. Then hang over to the hot topic segment. We have a guest, Miss LeKeitha Haynes, entrepreneur, art teacher, to give us the insight on her art inspiration, her teaching art, her love for art, and giving us some insight on why art is important. Then heading on over into the dorm story segment, Yaya and I are going to be sharing talents that we have that you may or may not know about, all right? And how we came about knowing about that talent. And then closing out, as always, with the community news. Tune in all the way to the end so that you don't miss out on anything that LoveLoudd has to offer you. So let's go ahead and go to the icebreaker.
It's time for our icebreaker, guys. I don't have my jingle yet.
I thought she was about to sing the way you just said that. I was like, it's time for our icebreaker.
I get interrupted every time. Maybe this is gonna be my intro. I say something and Monie breaks what I'm about to say.
I'm breaking the ice.
I was gonna say, y'all, that I came up with a jingle, but I don't know where it is. So maybe next time, like on our last episode of this season, I'll have it for y'all. All right, but let's get into this. We are gonna be playing again. I don't know why this is called a game. Maybe it's just like the thrill. We're gonna do a thriller.
It's a game.
It's a thrill to find out what is being said that's a lie out of 3 things. So this game is called 2 Truths and a Lie. Let's start with Monie. So she had to write down 3 things. I have to guess which one is the lie.
Yes, she has to guess which one is the lie.
For me, it's hard to compose this because it's like, this is the person that knows most of the stuff about me. So what can I put? Can't put.
I was thinking the same thing. But I think, I don't know, we'll see.
All right.
All right, here we go. So one of my sisters is about to turn 31. I just came back from Canada and my dad's birthday is this week. Should I say them again? One of my sisters is about to turn 31. I just came back from Canada and my dad's birthday is this week.
Only one could be a lie?
Only one is a lie.
Okay, Canada is the truth. You went to Canada in your trip. How old is Kiki? Your dad's birthday is not this week. So Kiki is about to be 31 soon. No, she's not. Well, hold on. How old is Kiki? All right, I'm gonna stick with that. Your dad's birthday is not this week.
My dad's birthday is this week. It's August 10th. Kiki is about to be 30. Not 31.
Dang, well, you tricked me up. The Canada one was the easiest one because I remembered some of the details of your trip.
Yes, Canada was the last stop of the Alaskan cruise. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, happy almost birthday to your dad.
Yep. Look out in the mail for your present. It's coming. It's so funny. He thought I was gonna leave. I usually, when I visit my dad, before I leave, I'll leave something for him to find. Like I didn't do that this time. So he called me. He was like, "You got me." I was looking around trying to find what you left, but you ain't leave me nothing. I said, "No, not this time, Dad." I was like, "Dang, maybe I should make it a tradition." I didn't realize I did it that often.
That's sweet. That's sweet though.
So
you messed up.
I did, but I didn't have time to get him what I wanted before I left, so I'm just gonna send it. But now that I know you'll be looking, Dad, and I'm gonna hide in a very unique spot next time. That's right.
And I now know that she's gonna be 30, not 30.
Yes, we're 3 years apart.
Okay. All right. I have to read mine. I wrote and recorded a song when I was in middle school. I've been in a submarine and experienced life under the sea. I've been in a helicopter and got to tour a major city.
You haven't been in a submarine. I don't think she's been in a submarine. Middle school is believable.
because I got a unique voice.
Middle school is believable. Helicopter is believable. No submarine.
Okay. Yes, I recorded a song in middle school. We all had to write songs, and we recorded it with the music teacher.
Yeah, I did that before. It was in high school for me though, but I did that.
And yes, I've been in the submarine.
Oh, really?
I didn't put the details of how I did it because it was an excursion. So I felt like if I said in another city, in another like country or something, then it would have seemed more believable. So I just left that part out. But I've never been in what's common, and they even sell it on Groupon, a helicopter.
Oh, see, I've been in a helicopter.
I know.
That's why I was like, oh, she's been in a helicopter. Submarine, I'm not being submerged underwater. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really cool because it was in Cayman Islands, and that's when I was on a cruise. One of the stops with the excursions. I thought that would be like a once in a lifetime chance. Like, who goes in the submarine? Like, horseback riding, cool. Swim with the dolphins. I did swim with the dolphins though, but like these other things seem regular. Like, I got to go in the submarine, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then the person who was like in charge, like I don't know what they call it, the driver of the submarine or whatever, he thought I was cute, so like he was giving me like extra stuff, like being nice to me.
Being cute gets you things.
Yeah, like Caribbean men tend to think I'm pretty, but that was a really fun experience. So I got yours wrong and you got mine wrong.
I definitely did. I definitely believed helicopter because I'm like, who hasn't? Well, I guess a lot of people haven't been in helicopter, but you've gone skydiving, so I believed helicopters. So.
I couldn't say the skydiving because we went together.
Oh wow! Okay, well, cool. That's two truths that I like.
Yes, the thriller activity,
if that's what she wants to call it.
All right, and other than that, we are done with our icebreaker segment, and we can move on to our next segment, which is
Sweet 223.
Hey y'all, this is our Sweet 223 segment, and if you're new here, this is our poetry segment where Monie and I share some poems. Recently, we've been sharing poems that we either wrote or that we loved as kids or as adults, whatever, that we like from other writers,
other poets.
So I want to just get into this piece, and I'll share the writers and the title of it after.
All right.
This has been on my heart for a year and a week now, but by the time this podcast come out, a little bit more than a week. But I just love this piece. I pull up in these clothes, look so good, 'cause I'm in that hoe. You know, all these songs sound good, 'cause I'm on that hoe. Dead ass, I'm dead ass. It's not the diamonds, it's not the pearls. I'm that girl, it's just that I'm that girl. It's not my man. It's not my stance. I'm that girl. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm that girl. Yes. Happy anniversary, Beyonce. I love you so much. You're the best poet out there. Shout out to the Beehive. I'm that girl. That's the name of the song.
I tried so hard not to laugh.
Written by Mike Dean, Sirius Nash, Beyonce Knowles, Tommy Wright. Is this the third or Lee? Tommy Wright Lee, Kelman Duran. Y'all did y'all thing. I'm that girl. Yes. It's been on my heart, y'all.
I'm pretty sure people watch this one like, why is she giggling? I was trying so hard not to bust out and interrupt you. I'm like, not her in here quoting I'm that girl from the Renaissance album. Like, what? Still on the high from the concert I
am.
I was like, what?
Yes. I did have a poem that I thought I was going to share today, but I'm not ready to share that yet. So and then it's kind of like the poem that I had, it's like a low tone kind of thing. So I wanted to share something that was like pink, like that makes me happy. And yeah, I've been on a high, honestly, since the album dropped. I love that album. If you know me, I love everything Beyonce.
It's very true.
I love the Wish You Freak. Say, nah, I sound like that in the movie again. But I love everything Beyonce. It's been a year and almost a month since Renaissance, the album dropped. So if you know me, you know I've been saving money since last year because I knew a concert was going to happen. So I was ready.
Period.
And the concert that I went to, it's funny because I was so chill, right? I was mad calm, looking at everybody else or whatever. Well, actually, when I got to the train station, I was excited, like seeing all the outfits. You know who was going to the tour. Like even people who weren't going, they were like, okay, Beyonce, right? Okay, yeah. And then Wayne know where it was going, just follow the sparkles. Just it'll get you to the MetLife Stadium for sure. And then I was calm. And then my cousin and like my friend, like that we were together, they were like, "You ready, girl?" I was like, "Yeah, we here, whatever." But as soon as the doom and then the scream went, I started screaming so loud. And then I took my cousin arm and was waving. She's like, "Oh, Mom." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm excited." I lived my best life. My adrenaline was so high. I felt like I had an experience to just say, FUCK to all the cares in the world that I had, all the feelings that were like weighing on me, everything that I've been going through. I just was like, let it all off, shake it loose, be fierce like Sasha, let it go and live your life. And that song and Thick and some other songs have been on my mind and my heart since, those specifically last when I went to the concert. So that is I'm That Girl by the people that I said that is by, but delivered by Beyonce.
Delivered by Beyonce. I'm that girl. I'm that girl. Well, thank you for sharing your Beyonce experience, your Beyonce poem here in the Sweet 223 segment on Truth Carpet.
Music is just songs are just
it is
poetry,
music is poetry
with a flow and a beat.
My favorite musical poet is Tupac.
Oh, that's a good one. He's good.
Well, he actually did write actual poetry too and rap songs. But yes, Tupac is my top musical poet. Oh yes.
And that is it for our Sweet 223 segment. Thanks for tuning in to our show. Well, the segment, because the show is not over.
Right.
Next up, we have our Hot Topic segment featuring LeKeitha. So excited for this. So let me do it. Hot Topics.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that wasn't it, but we'll be right here.
Let go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the CAB. This is the Hot Topic segment. Today we have my good girlfriend, Miss LeKeitha Haynes. She is an artpreneur, okay? She creates art that is so unique, so beautiful. We are so excited to have her on the episode today to talk about her journey through art, teaching art, okay? And everything there is to do with what she does with art, all right? So welcome to the show, Miss LeKeitha. We are excited to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, beautiful ladies, for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you look good. You look good. All right.
I got a little something for y'all. Trying to match y'all energy. I knew y'all was gonna be looking good.
Period.
Yeah, so welcome to our podcast. I want to know, first of all, before we get started, what school did you go to?
For undergrad?
Yes.
Clark Atlanta University.
Okay, so that is important. Yes, that is important for our listeners to know because we often have a lot of people on our Truth Carpet segment. Our Hot Topic segment from the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. So I couldn't let that slide. So I know I saw you. I met you before at a party. I don't know if you remember, but we were at Chad's party dancing. And I remember, I remember your face. So yes, welcome to our podcast. But without further ado, let the people know who you are. So if someone said, "Who's LeKeitha?" what would you say?
Oh, that is a good question. They'll definitely say LeKeitha is a very expressive person. I've also heard the term like very animated. I get excited. I can't hide my emotions. As well as I'm very creative. I've always expressed my creativity, love everything that has to do with art, color, all of that. And they would say that I'm a loving person. Like I just love people and I love to be kind to people. And yeah, that's me.
I love that. I love it for sure. So, how did you get into art? Like, how did you learn or figure out that you know how to draw and paint and all that good stuff?
I feel like it's very interesting because like no one like in my immediate family like does art. I'm the young. My mom and dad, they were heavy into sports. So they wanted all their girls to get into sports too, but it just did not happen. That's the creative route. Like, do not throw a basketball at me. I do not have good aim. One of my sisters tried basketball. She was on the court with her eyes closed. Like, it didn't happen for us.
Oh my God.
But I think also by me being the youngest, like I was by myself a lot. Like my sister was just like, go ahead, like we done. They'll play with me for a while, but then they'll get into other things. And so I just feel like I've always been the type to like create my own fun. So I just started exploring a lot with creative things. I love to do puzzles. And then after that, I started drawing. For some reason, I used to love to draw the Captain Crunch box. I don't know why. I felt like he was just an interesting face to draw. So I started off there. Coloring books. I used to love to color. Took my coloring books very seriously. My cousin got upset at me, and they knew the way to get me back was to color on a picture that I worked. So I love to do anything creative. So I feel like that's how I got my start. I don't have just like one pinpoint. I just always love to draw. Very into like watching fashion shows. So I used to like to draw pictures of like models and come up with my own little fashion lines and design.
Yeah, that is so cute. Yes. I was a little similar when I was a child, but the art bug just didn't come with me throughout my adulthood. It kind of stopped at elementary school.
He was done with it.
It's kind of funny that you said that you would draw the Captain Crunch box because I'm into drawing too. But I remember specifically how I learned how to draw. It was an art class where I figured out the skill and the technique of, I guess, perfecting or making my drawings look better. But it was always that one box of cereal. Didn't matter if it was the tiger from Frosted Flakes, Captain Crunch, something was always in front of me that I wanted to mimic. So that was really interesting. And then when you said the model and the fashion, it just made me think about my little notebook that I had of like, I forget what my clothing line was gonna be called, but I had all these drawings in this notebook, like, oh, this is gonna be my bathing suit line, and this is gonna be my lingerie line.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had one like that too, because at one point I was into like hip hop and like punk rock styles. So I was gonna call it hip rock. And I had this design where it was like a skull with a fitted cap on with the bone X's in the back, my hip rock. I never went through with that, but that I had to. Hip rock clothing line.
Now y'all making me think. Like I remember the name of my clothing line and everything. It was called Blue Sky Ink. I don't know why it was called Blue Sky Ink. December baby, Sagittarius, very much love turquoise and blues. But it was Blue Sky Ink, and it got serious in elementary. I had little designers up under me. People would turn their design into me. I would critique it in class and stuff. I really learned I was actually good at art in school. Like my elementary teachers, elementary, I guess when you want a child who's kind of like outspoken and always questioning, sometimes you struggle to feel that connection with teachers. But when I got in my first art class with my art teacher really worked with me and really showed me like, no, you're actually really good. And once my other teachers started seeing that I was good at art too, then they had more patience with me because they're like, hey, do you want to draw this for our class? Do you want to do this? They started volunteering me for things with art. It definitely helped me figure out like, okay, like I actually can do this art thing. And then my fourth grade year, my art teacher entered one of my pieces into the mayor's art show. So that was a really cool experience. My family was super proud to come see that. I was in the fourth grade. And then he entered me into this summer program where I actually did a mural at an elementary school with other students across the community. It was really cool too. So that's how I really started to figure out, okay, I'm actually good at this thing because my art teachers, they feeling me right now.
Yes, that's
I love that.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's
congratulations. Congratulations to fourth grade LeKeitha. Yes. So where do you draw your inspiration from? I've seen your art, the canvases that you've done is like has its own creative style and technique, and I love it for sure. But I want to know like what the ideas or inspiration or your muse is.
I would definitely say my biggest muse is Black women first. Like ever since I was growing up, I just felt like there was such a beauty in us. And sometimes I feel like that wasn't displayed enough, especially in the era that we were growing up in. We weren't always on the cover of the magazines. If so, it was the same people on the cover of the magazines. I loved art and I loved learning about it, but you didn't hear that much at the time about Black artists, or you didn't see like a Black Mona Lisa. And so for me, I'm like, here's this thing I love, but I don't also see myself in art when I think about it big time. And so growing up, even more as I got into it, like I was still always been a lover of us. I feel like we deserve to be celebrated. So that's where I draw my biggest inspiration from. And then for some reason, like I love a lot of color. Again, I'm just always been super colorful. I don't know, color gives me life. I tried to get into the whole neutral thing that's going on now too. It's real cute, but somewhere I still got to throw some color into it. It wakes me up. I love the 90s vibe. It was real live in living color. That was one of my program names, was in living color. I changed it several times since then. And what else? I don't know. I feel like with me, it's really hard for me to answer that question because I feel like my inspiration is like forever changing and ever evolving. I'm just trying to learn new things, and whatever pops to me at the moment, I'll just put into my art.
Gotcha. Yes, come on. I see it. I feel it. I turn it into art.
But speaking of the feel it, drawing that, I know this is not a specific question that we prepared you for, but I've not seen your art in person, but I've seen it on Instagram. And from Instagram, there's texture in your art.
Yes.
Is there a specific reason that you do that and not keep it like flat with the acrylics or the paint that you use?
No, that's a good question. Texture is something that I really started to pop up on, starting to do it more because I've always liked to do clay as well, but I'm not a full-blown sculpture girl. So now that I'm able to start figuring out, well, even though I don't want to do sculpture and like painting is like my heart, how can I like embed some, what do you say, depth into it and make it pop more? So that's when I started picking up different texture ideas. I've been looking on YouTube to see how people have been incorporating texture into their artwork. So that's still something very new for me that I'm playing around with, but I really love it. And I do feel like it adds an extra pizzazz to my art. Artist, he has some really cool art acrylic, you guys. So I'm very excited to try that out too, because it's all about texture art. Again, because I feel like us as people, like we're not flat, right? We're very dynamic, and I want my art to be dynamic too. And so I feel like if I can really get down this texture art that I've been working on, it'll just really take it to another level of what I'm trying to provoke everybody else to see with my art.
Yeah.
Yes, come through. Absolutely. I love that.
You say you're playing, but it don't seem like you're playing at all. Like, it seems like from what you posted, it seems like you know what you're doing, and I love it for sure.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. So let's get back into what you said about these teachers that you were inspired by or that they started pulling you. You're a teacher right now. How did you get into being an art teacher?
Okay, yeah. So art teaching really was something that was kind of like fell in my lap. I never thought I was going to be a teacher. When I went to Clark, I majored in just general studio art. But then you know how it is after college, you're like, okay, what I'm actually going to do? What am I going to do? And so when I went to the different fairs, it's so funny because a woman approached me. She was like, oh my gosh, like you're a beautiful Black woman. And I feel like we need more beautiful Black teachers in Florida. Like, would you come up to Florida for an interview? And I was kind of like, nah, I'm not trying to be no teacher. I ain't trying to do that. She's like, well, it's okay. Even if you didn't go to school for education, like we can teach you what you need. Like, I really want you to come up here. She had the people call me at that school in Florida and everything to see if I was going to come up. I told my mama, I was like, listen, my mom's like, yeah, you need to do it. Like, you ain't doing nothing else right now. Go ahead. But something in my spirit is just telling me Augustine, Florida is not the move for me or whatever.
Augustine, Florida. Where is Augustine, Florida?
Augustine, exactly. I was like, that and LeKeitha, it ain't adding up to me. I don't know. And so I ended up taking a job for the summer at a boys and girls club as an art instructor. And I remember my mom being like, okay, girl, now what you doing? What you doing? I was gonna figure it out. You done got this degree. I'm like, it's okay. And so something told me, actually, I went to the CAU 16 alumni group meet. I was going to actually delete it because I was like, okay, it's time to move on, Keitha. Like, you need to focus. You need to mute this group chat or something. Like, come on, move away from Clark Atlanta. You got to figure out your life. But right when I went in there, they was like, hey, this school is looking for an art teacher. You don't have to have an education background. You don't have to be certified. They're looking for somebody to start really soon. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And so I was like, now see, art teaching, that's something I can give a try. And it's still in Atlanta. And so I reached out to the person who dropped in the group meet. They sent all my information there. And literally within the next week, I got an interview and I got the job.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, alignment.
Alignment, right? I'm like, see, the Lord, I feel like the Lord was really guiding my footsteps in there. Like he was like, just hold off, be patient. Like that wasn't for you. And I felt like this was for me.
Yeah.
However, it was not a very easy road because I didn't have a teacher background. So it was very much my first week there, kids giving me the wrong names when I'm giving roll and stuff like that. And my manager coming in and being like, you calling David so-and-so? That is not David. So experience. You had parents coming in being like, what the teacher at? I need to speak to the teacher. And I'm like, I am the teacher. Quit playing with me, little girl. Where's the teacher? That's
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, Simone, my first year a teacher was real. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Oh
I'm like,
my God.
I am the teacher. But so after that, I was like, Lord, I don't know about this. I was like, help me out. This is where I'm supposed to be. Help me out. I was like, also, Lord, I feel like I need to be in New York somewhere. I was like, so the only way I feel like I'm gonna be a teacher long is if in 3 years, just take me to New York. Literally, I literally said that. And so second year goes by way better than my first year. I'm starting to learn out, get my feet wet. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like I have 2 grade levels that I'm connected with. Might not connect with all of them, but it's getting there. Versus my first year, I was like, and then I started feeling like, okay, I actually can do this art teaching thing, but I need a lot more guidance. And so that's when, like, towards the end of my art teaching career for my second year, that's when a girl came in. She's like, hey, I just got an offer to go to New York. Do you want to go to New York with me and teach art? She was like, I can get you an interview. I was like, okay, why not try it? Got the interview. Literally my 3rd year teaching art, boom, I found myself in New York and I found myself teaching elementary art, which is like, the babies are my heart. And it makes sense because I started, again, like when I started figuring out that I was really falling in love with art and that I was good in art was when I was in elementary. Like I told you, about 4th grade year, I was like, okay, I'm an artist. And so I felt like it was super cool to be able to teach art to kids in a way where they can build their confidence through art and their love for their community and celebrate their community. So Simone, you already know, but like we had an artist team and everything. And every lesson I taught was grounded in something, whether it was about uniqueness. Like for October, we did these cool pumpkins, but the whole thing was around making your pumpkin unique and how special you are. So we always start off conversations like that. And that's how I got into the art thing. And I did that for 4 years with my elementary kids. Then I moved on to be a dean, and now I'm trying something new right now.
Wow. Yes, that is amazing.
For kids too, yes.
Right. I love how you mentioned that, like in regards to alignment, you ended up teaching art in elementary school, which is where you started to figure out like, oh my God, this is something that I'm good at. I really love this. It makes me think about like my own alignment and where I ended up. And when I really first started getting into writing and script writing, like that was middle school. And now I'm teaching script writing and filmmaking from to middle schoolers. And when middle school is where I actually like really got into that whole spiel. So that's amazing. I actually never thought about it like that. So yeah, think about where you are, how you ended up where you at.
I was really passionate. I think the difference between me and middle schoolers in elementary is more about making kids fall in love with art. And that's where my passion was. Versus middle school was like, really, okay, I need to set y'all up. Y'all need to get into some programs here, like values, the shades. And me, I'm like, no, that's cool. But I just like the idea of making kids fall in love with art. Then they'll have the patience to learn more of those critical things that Simone is so good at teaching middle schoolers to do.
What would you say are your most or were your most enjoyable moments with being an art teacher? So I know you shared some things that like stand out, but is there like, I remember this one time when like, do you have something that stands out for you?
Gosh, I just feel like it's so many moments. Let me think. I feel like just like when we had those conversations in class, like one time we did like a Black Lives Matters project. No, actually, no. My name matters. My name matters
Mhm.
because I always tell the story about how like my mom and my dad had three girls, right? You have Victoria, a Jasmine, then you get a LeKeitha. And so for me, it was like some people would make fun of my name, or when they automatically hear my name, they'd be like, "Oh, you ghetto. Like that's a ghetto name, blah, 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 this, that, and third." So I had a struggle with my name at first, not really enjoying being named LeKeitha because I just felt like some people felt like it was ghetto or it was always going to be some type of conversation or it was too unique. Until I got older, and now I make the joke all the time. They'd be like, "Yeah, I'm the Beyonce of the family." That's why they went ahead and did LeKeitha. I was gonna be different and stuff like that. So I had the same conversation with my kids. Went around and said something special, what makes them special, because it's not the name that makes them, they make their name. And it was a very beautiful moment. Like different ones stood up, some who were super quiet got up and said special things about their names and how they appreciate themselves. So I feel like that was a beautiful moment. And that was with my fourth grade class. But other than that, I enjoyed so many moments. Like those kids were awesome. They love you as much as you love them.
Yes. So it's just overall the experience that you have with the children. They pour into you like you're there to be their teacher or to help guide them in some way, but they always end up guiding us in some way and
Right.
teaching us things that we didn't know. But while you were sharing the specific example that you gave, that really stood out to me because my name is unique, and I till this day still get people, "Oh, that's a unique name." It's like, how many times do you think I heard unique need to be put together, or like with being asked the question of, "Do you know what your name means?" or like all these things is
Mhm.
annoying. So I do wish that if I can go back into time, I had a teacher that made me feel special. I mean, I did have one because she would always say, "I can't not say your last name with your first name, like unique love." But just other than that experience, I always did when I was a younger person want a regular name like Jasmine or
Victoria.
Victoria, something, yeah, like a common name opposed to mine having to keep repeating it so people know what I'm saying. No, it's not unique. It's unique. Like, it's so annoying. But I love that you had that experience with your students.
That's how I used to feel about my last name.
Mm.
Having people saying the double D loud. Come on, bruh. It's just loud. It's just loud with an extra D on the end. Like, come on now. But I'm like, I also fell in love with my last name because there's not many people that have my last name.
Right.
There's Louds with one D. We ain't related. I mean, maybe somewhere down the line, somewhere, somehow, before, as far as I know, if somebody has last name Loud with two D's, most likely they are related to me. So I remember, I think I told the story before about how I went and tried to find, my family. So based off that last name, but I did, what a Loud at? What up, Loud? I still get asked what a Loud at, but or even the pronunciation of my first name. My mom used to be like, "Tell them people to pronounce your name right. It's not Simone. It ain't spelled with an I. It's Simone." Make them correct this. It's not Simone, it's Simone. I'd be like, but I know they talking to me. I don't want to seem like I'm being an ass telling them to change the pronunciation of my name.
I'm about to say, oops, I struggle with that. Feeling real hypocritical here right now. I'm like, okay, I need to.
Right. Like just tell them to pronounce it right. So now I do it as an adult. I'm like, I've introduced myself as Simone with an emphasis on the C.
I have heard you do that. You do really good at that.
So let's get back to art.
Okay.
Why do you think it's important to have outlets like art in the school setting for students?
I feel like so many kids learn different ways, as well as their emotions too. They express it in different ways. And I know for me, art can teach you so many things about yourself, just self-awareness. And for many students who had struggled with like articulating how they felt, like they could draw it out how they felt. Like sometimes teachers would be like, "Can so-and-so just sit here and like draw a picture in your class?" And once they're drawing, now they're able to talk about it more. So I think it's very important because it just teach you so many things. Art is problem solving. It can teach you how to solve a problem. It can teach you how to embrace your mistakes, learn from your mistakes. That was one of my favorite lessons, just teaching kids like, it's okay. And like, you are going to make mistakes.
Yes.
Grow from it, or how you want to try to fix it. But whatever you do, don't stay delayed in that mistake and let it stop you. And so we used to Okay, here's a paper. I already put a dot on it, a mark on it, make it into something new. And they love that project, and to the point where kids were literally on our next problem. Look, Ms.Haynes, right here, you see where I made this mistake? Let me show you what I did though. Like I didn't cry, like I turned this to a butterfly. Like, look at this mistake. I have videos from that, like where kids are literally celebrating and embracing their mistakes. And to me, that was a big deal. It was more than just me not wanting to waste art paper, because you're not about to get any paper every time you mess up. It was life, like in real life, you're not about to get more papers. So like try to move on from it. And so art can teach that type of excuse me, art can teach that type of process to kids and so much more. And that's why it's so important in school. It really bothers me that to so many schools it's an afterthought.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that so much. And that's one thing that I love about when I paint or when I draw, when I do makeup, whatever, you can always cover your mistake with something else that's more beautiful. People that's listening, if you have tattoos, you know that you can change that tattoo into something else that's more beautiful, or just change your, your perspective of what that tattoo used to remind you of or used to stand out for. So yeah, that's 100% and 100% true. And I like that you taught that value and install that into the students that you have.
Okay. Mistakes make masterpieces.
Come on now, yes, mistakes make masterpieces. I love that.
Yes, title of this episode.
Because I was just gonna say, like, I love how like joy comes from those mistakes. How you were saying how they learn how to like cover it up and change it into something else, like starting with one thing and turning into something more beautiful. Because I had to learn that myself before, like when I was learning how to mix colors. I'm like, oh, that's not the color I wanted. It's all right. You can turn it into something else. Like you made a new color. What color is that? I'm like, you know what? I'm a genius. Right. I made a whole new color. Yes, my frog is purple, but that's my frog. So
you have a good imagination. We love it.
Exactly. That's what Disney. This is the purple frog.
So imagination and mistakes turn into masterpieces. I love that so much. So yes, thank you for sharing that. Beautiful.
That's
beautiful
another thing. Entrepreneurship, that's another good reason, right? Like imagination is the foundation for entrepreneurship, for all of that. Like it takes a creative thinker to think outside the box and want to keep going when something isn't right. So it's super important for it to be in school.
Okay, so as a creative, there's so much competition, people who don't want to pay your worth, days when life is good and days when you may not be able to eat as well. What keeps you motivated to keep working on your business?
What keeps me motivated is just my faith in God, and that He instilled this in me, and that He didn't put this in me for me to keep it in for myself. He put it in me to like share out to the world, and to know that there's a process with everything, because patience has really been a battle of mine. But I know that there is, now I'm really learning that there is beauty in the process, and learning to accept the process. With any setback, I'm learning something new. Like I tell my students, right? I have to believe that in myself. Like everything has a reason. Rejection is the Lord's protection. Like I'm literally like feeding myself spiritually and mentally constantly, because I know that it can become a battlefield of the mind in this, but it's in me for a reason. And I know when I do share with people, people reach out to me. They do tell me they love my artwork. And to me, that's enough. Like someone doesn't have to buy my artwork for me to believe that they love it or they enjoy it. Yeah. I feel like my artwork will make its way to the right home when it's time. And now for me, it's just really trusting myself, trusting the process, and learning more with my artwork, really figuring out like what I want to say now more as I evolve. I feel like my artwork is evolving. And then also too, if someone says they're interested in something, but then they don't want to pay the price, and that's fine. Like I'm still going to keep it, because one of my profiles told me something really good. She was like, LeKeitha, don't feel like you got to give out discounts, because people don't want discount work. So our work is not discount art. So if you feel like at the time it's not for you, it's not in your budget, that's okay too. But that's what keeps me motivated to keep going, because I know that it's in me for a reason, and it's just up to me to keep going.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all hear that? Whatever it is that you're doing, just keep going. It's not meant to keep in you. It's meant for you to share it with the world. Share your art, share your your genius with the world, because you have, everybody has a talent for a reason, and holding on to it, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I love the fact that you continue to push forward despite what you may be going through or what could hold you back. You just continue to pour, life into your art, and having people simply just compliment you on the work that you do keeps you motivated as well. So girl, keep going, keep making that beautiful textured art, perfecting your style, because you do make great art. And when the time is right, that cash flow gonna be coming in. You'll be like, wait a minute, what? Hold on.
Right. I'm like, I'm coming in when I'm ready for it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love when you said rejection is a type of protection. And that really hit home for me, because my biggest thing was, well, dang, I don't know how to put a point of sale on my work, because it seems like the people that are asking me, they can't afford it or they don't want to pay that much. So I did get into the flow of okay, I'm going to bring the price down, but that's less than what I paid for my materials. And I'm still hurting myself. Or when people will say, oh, can you paint this for me? But I go get the stuff. It's like, but you bringing me crap stuff to expect the same work that I did on this is not going to get me the same output, and it's just a lot that goes in, especially okay, I'm carrying already, but then my back hurts while I'm standing up, work, you're actually putting a lot of work into the art that you're putting out. So I remember this one time, this guy had me do a specific painting for him and his girlfriend at that time. And I did it, and it came time for him to pay for it, but we had to ship it. And with the shipping and the artwork, it was really expensive. But you asked for this, and then he ended up ghosting me. Never, no penny, not a penny down.
No deposit?
No deposit. This nothing. He didn't pay anything. But the great thing that came out of that hurt was that I still have that art. So you inspired me in some type of way to create this, that I still get a lot of oohs and ahs from that painting. So one day somebody's going to buy that from me, and it's all thanks to you giving me that rejection. It's protecting me from that small price that I would have accepted from you. And now I'm going to give me a big price that God saw in store for me. And then the last thing that I have in mind is the girl that just sold 3 paintings to Jay-Z during the Renaissance tour.
Right.
She, I'm sure this, I don't know. Don't take this as, I heard this from TikTok or nothing. I don't know this. But in my little mind, I was wondering, dang, what did it take for her to have the courage to take these to the show or to get backstage with Jay-Z to do this? I'm sure people were probably like, oh, you're not going to run into Jay-Z, or, oh, you're not going to sell this or anything. But something pushed her, something encouraged her to still go to the show with these paintings. And she sold it to the husband of the person that's running the tour and running the world right now. So don't let anybody tell you no, is what I'm getting from your message. And Monie said, you have that talent for a reason. God gave you this gift that you didn't learn from a teacher, or you didn't go to a specific tutoring class to learn how to draw. This is instilled in you, even though you watch YouTube University to get better and add the different styles that how to put it together. This is God given. It's going to be, you're worth something now, but it's going to be worth something greater in the future. Yes. And then when Monie was sharing again, I heard Dory, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming. I like that.
I used to be the anthem in the art class too. I'm like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Exactly, because it's gonna be some obstacles in the way. There's always gonna be some type of obstacle. It doesn't matter how you're gonna try to go over it, around it, under it. Either way, the obstacle is gonna be there. It's just a matter of how you want to get through it.
And so way better.
Exactly.
Have y'all seen that image of the guy who's digging for gold?
Girl, yes.
Right when the gold is right there. Yeah. I'm like, you never want that to be me. You just can't. You gotta keep that faith. You gotta keep going. Cause you stop, miss your moment, and then you giving it something to somebody else that was meant for you. You know what I'm saying? The next person right behind that person, all they have to hit is one time, boom, they gonna get the gold.
Yep.
No, I'm here for my so.
Absolutely. That reminds me of what I learned when I was running track. When you running, you right there at the goal. Don't slow down. Speed up. you see the goal. You see the finish line. Why are you slowing down? Mm-hmm. You got to speed up and get to the finish line. You right there. You just
it's the fingers for me.
You right there. Don't give up when you right there. It might not feel like it, but you can you're never gonna see the finish line if you don't keep going. So yeah, absolutely. I love this. This is this great motivational conversation.
For sure.
Turning our mistakes into masterpieces. Okay. All right, Miss LeKeitha Haynes. Before we let you go, you have to let the people know where they can find you, social media, website, all of that.
Okay. Let's give the rundown. Okay, so I have on my Instagram 3 accounts you can find me at. There we go. So if you're looking for some motivation for younger artists out there, you can follow me at Ms.Haynes. That is MS.HAYNES. Yes, I'm looking for my last name because I want to make sure. Art, A-R-T. So that's MS.HAYNES, Miss.Haynes Art. And then also I do some illustrations, lovely illustrations of lovely people, logos and stuff like that. Shout out to LoveLoudd.
Yes,
Follow me at Lucky Illustrations, LEKE illustrations. And then for my art, to follow me on my art journey, my process where I do a lot of my fine art, my texture art, my art celebrating Black women, the beauty of everything that inspires me, you can follow me at lucky.art, LEKE.ART. And then I have a YouTube channel as well for art for kids. Check that out. It's really popular around Black History Month time. I do a lot of portraits of Black artists that makes it very easy to break it down for kids. Also, some of those lessons on why your voice matters and different things like that. Motivational pieces for kids. That's at Ms.Haynes on YouTube. Just MS.HAYN.
I love that.
Yes, come on. You got the Instagram for the illustrations, the Instagram for the kiddos, the YouTube for the kiddos, the art page for the texture art. Just come on now. Of course, y'all know we're going to put it all in the description so that you can follow each and every account and subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay?
And
Yes,
if you've seen our new logo, that's all shout out to LeKeitha. She drew us and I love it. So thank you for that too.
Yes, and I must also say my mother.
Beautiful. Y'all made it so easy. I was like, oh, I'm excited.
Yes, amen. What was I saying? Oh, and my mother, she most definitely loves her canvas that me and my sisters got for her that LeKeitha illustrated for her for Mother's Day / birthday / graduation present, because they literally was all back to back in 1 week. So
yes, I'm doing bridal illustrations too, y'all. I've been working on a few. So
see, come on, see, y'all go check out every single page that she has to see what she has to offer. Ms. Haynes, it was lovely having you on the show. Cannot wait to have a conversation with you again. But until then.
Yes, ladies, we'll have to meet up in person and have this in person too one
day.
Yes,
absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Can't wait for the day. All right. Thank you
so much.
Bye. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? In today's Dorm Stories segment, Yaya and I will be sharing talents that people may or may not know about.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Share away.
Okay. So this is like a really intimate talent that I have. It's not what I said before you press record. But so this is self-disclosure. If you didn't know, now you know that I had a breast augmentation. And after that breast augmentation, I shortly discovered that I know how to move my boobs. Like without touching.
You had breast lifters installed. She got hydraulics in her titties. She got hydraulics installed in her titties. Joe.
I am crying right now.
But. She got hydraulic titties. Are you going to share this talent with us?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Visual crying.
Is it really your talent?
One day, I kept blowing my nose.
It's connected to your nose?
Yes. That was funny. And you know, like sometimes when you blow your nose, you sniff to clear, like after.
Nose.
Okay, so I sniff to clear sometimes. And when I sniffed, it was summertime. We had just got back to college, and I had a spaghetti string shirt on, so I'm naturally looking down. And when I sniffed, they moved up. No, it wasn't moving your back. They literally lived like when I did it. So I was just like, oh, this is like really cool. I didn't know I had the talent. So I wonder if I could do them like this, like left, right, left, right, left, right. But they move when I sniff.
Can you also do it with your booty cheeks?
Yeah.
You at the same time?
But it's more of a muscle thing, not like the fat of the boob kind of situation. Okay, that is a talent that I have. I'm not lying. But the talent that I wanted to share is art. So if you're watching us on YouTube, I wore this dress because it's like I didn't create it. This is from Target. One of the Black creators created this, and because our theme for the podcast today is art, I wanted to wear this, but my talent is art. And I know art is a really big thing. So I like to draw, I like to doodle, I like to paint. So visual art is my talent. How did I discover this talent? I was always a doodler. I was always like the person in class just drawing houses, drawing smiley faces, drawing pictures of birds, like just random things. Whatever comes in my mind is on the paper. It's more drawings than it is notes that the teacher was talking about. It's still the same as day. Like every Wednesday we had meetings at work, and I'd be drawing on the paper that they hand out. So that's just like something that's just like in me. But I shared with LeKeitha, it became something that was perfected because of art class. So we had this teacher who helped me to perfect my drawing skills by saying, basically one thing that we learned was to never take your eye from your subject. So I learned to like just focus on, trust my hand, trust the skill that I have, and just look at what I'm drawing, and then you can look down every so often and make a correction. And then of course I learned how to like make things proportionate, or like how to go from one focus to make everything look like it's coming from that angle, like different skills. We did wiring. I was thinking about that when LeKeitha was sharing. We used to make nameplates out of like wires for each other in class. But yeah, that drawing from art class is how I learned to perfect what I already knew. And then everyone knows that paint and sip is this really, really popular thing that people get into. So before paint and sip, I was just like the person who I'll draw. Sometimes I color, sometimes I won't. And I was kind of like getting like not envious, but like if you could do it, I could probably do it too kind of situation. So I took myself to a paint and sip class and following the instructor, but I didn't really like what she was doing. So I made my own image of what she was sharing, drawing wise. And then when it came to painting, that's why I took the class. I know I could draw, I know I'm good with pencils, but can I paint? And that's when I learned that I know how to paint. So after that class, after people were like rounding up around my art, they were, because they like, oh, take your painting, let's get in the back. But I'm trying to take my pictures first, and then people saw mine, and they were like, oh, this is so good, because it was so different than everyone else's. So then I started taking like drawings that I recently did, like Bart and Maggie Simpson that I drew. I was like, can I put this to scale? So that's like on a small paper. Can I put this on a canvas that's about the same height as me? Like just different things like that. So that was cool. Like practicing what I learned in middle school as an adult, and then now putting the color pencils away and putting paint onto it, which was the greatest thing because it's scary. Like I'm making a mistake with paint, but that's what stood out to me, that LeKeitha said there's no mistake in art. You can always cover it up. It's the same thing as if you put too much concealer or whatever, you can always cover it up with foundation, or you know, there's really no vivid mistake. It's just a addition, I guess, in some way, or making it unique for you. This talent, do I use it? That's such a vague question. Because the overall arching thing is, yes, I still doodle, I still draw, but do I use it to the extent that I want to, or that I saw myself using it? That I will sadly say no. Because I want to, like, I wanted to get to be at a place right now at this age where people knew my name. Maybe not worldwide, but at least in Jersey, or at least in New York and Jersey, that people that I had a following for my art page, or that I had some showings, either myself or I was a part of an exhibit. And I always seem to get inspired, more so when I go to art exhibits. Like the last time that I went with a group of people to a museum, and that art was sent to New York by people overseas, and we got to experience their art. So like a lot of those experiences of seeing other people put their work out there, whether I think it's quality or not, because I've seen some work, like one person literally painted a canvas, 75% of the canvas was blue and the other part was yellow, and made millions off of it, but it's because of the person's name. So it's like and even sometimes I don't want to put that person's name out there. There's this one painter, he gets so much love and everything. And it's like, that's a stick figure from like the ancient days, but you making mad money from designers, and other people know your name, but what they had that courage to put their stuff out there. So I do want to, and I do plan to like get back to the habit of painting and drawing, so that the masses can see. But the first step too is the last question we asked LeKeitha, which is what keeps you going? What kept me going after the paint and sip class was not like, oh, I'm about to sell this, I'm about to do that, but it was the feeling that I felt. It was my self-care. It was my release. It made me feel good. I remember I would go to be at work or be in school, and I couldn't wait to get home to work on the project that I was working on. And once I started, it's like I can't wait to finish it, because I want to see if it's going to be done right. Everything that I draw is always a challenge. Like when I drew Lady and the Tramp, I wonder if I could draw a dog. When I did this, I don't know if it was a cheetah or a type, like what it was, but it was a feline with spots. And I wanted to know if I could do it, and I did it, and I sold it. And then I wanted to know if I could draw The Simpsons, and then I drew it, and I just added like little details to it. So everything for me is always a challenge, and that's what I enjoy. So that's my talent that I have, aside from the boob movement. But yeah, I like it.
I'm glad you mentioned self-care, because I was definitely going to ask to make it habitual again. Why not just incorporate painting into your self-care, maybe once a week or something like that, as a way to get started, especially since it's something that's very relaxing and something that you just it's just something that you just do, that you don't have to really think about, just to get back into that's the groove of things, you know.
Yeah.
Just do it.
For me, it's not relaxing, because like I said, my back starts to hurt when it's happening. But for me, it's like, it's like a thing that literally starts as a small goal and becomes a big accomplishment once you're done. Like, okay, let's go to Michael's real quick, let's go get this. Okay, I'm gonna draw this out, make that perfect, and then add the paint to it. So it's like really literally steps that you're doing to create it. But I think that will be dope to start for sure after my birthday, because it's gonna be cold outside. So it's gonna give me something to do. Yeah, and I like when people tell me, like, I like to ask, what's your favorite cartoon? Because I'm a cartoonist. And I like abstract work too. So when people tell me that, it's like, can I draw the guy from Boondocks? And I actually do it. So yeah,
It's freehand.
Yeah, I don't trace. I remember Ebony, I was about to say this girl from college. She used to say I couldn't draw, that I used to trace. So I took the Toy Story cover. I had DVDs, y'all. age me. And I took the Toy Story cover and I drew, because we had the mirrors. We lived in whatever dorm I was, when we had the mirrors for the closet.
Mhm.
I drew with expo markers Woody on the mirror. I was like, Ebony, come look. And she was like, oh, you traced that. And then walked away.
Trace on the mirror, girl. Don't be hating. Don't be
Right.
hating.
But that's also talent too, because I didn't draw the same size. A DVD is a certain size.
Right.
I had to scale it. It was literally like bigger than me. I had to use my little stool to step up and draw his hat and stuff. But yeah,
Hey, man, that was mural. That was you making a mural, honey.
right. I should have left it on.
Period.
I should have left it and got charged. And
You should have, because I didn't see it.
Because you weren't. It was just me and Ebony there.
She erased it.
Yeah, I erased
She erased the talent right off the mirror. Did you take a picture of it?
I don't know if I did. It's on that Dell laptop that won't come on with all our videos that we used to make in college.
Oh man, those videos,
Yes.
classic.
But yeah, once I draw my first little doodle on canvas, I need to take the ones that I have and put it somewhere, because that's the other thing. Like, I'm keeping all that stuff stored up in my home, and it's like I don't got space for more. So when I need to like have a collection, so then I could put it out. That's my small big goal that I have for myself, like to have a theme and then get a space where I can just have friends and family or whoever hears about it come in and see my work, and then I think that will drive me to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. You gonna do it. Just do it like Nike.
What about you? Do you have any? Do your toes do anything weird, or you know?
I actually don't have any talents. Actually, I was waiting until we got to after you finished, just so I can. I'm like, we're gonna wrap this up quick. No, actually, I'm ambidextrous, which means I can write with both hands. I can write with my right hand and I can write with my left hand.
Is it neat?
It's neat enough. It's legible. Like, it doesn't look exactly the same as my right hand, but I can definitely, if something would have happened to my right hand, God forbid, but I can write with my left hand. And it's something that I show my students. I'm like, oh, look, y'all. They're like, you can't do it. Yes, I can.
Oh, let's see.
I will show you.
Okay.
It's easier for me to do it easier on the board. When I'm trying to write smaller, it takes me a lot longer, but it's neat. And you can tell that it's a difference between my left hand and my right hand, because I don't write with my left hand often. But the only reason I found out I was able to do it was when I learned what ambidextrous was when I was in elementary school. And I was like, I could do that. At first I couldn't. It was very hard. It was very shaky looking, but with practice, made perfect. I used to use like little penmanship sheets to help me practice. So yeah, I think if I do it more often, it would definitely be a lot neater. My penmanship is better than my cursive on my left hand, but I can definitely write with both hands. So yeah, I only usually just do it at this point just to show students that I can do it if they don't believe me. And then they try to do it. I'm like, okay, let's see. Period. Let me see.
Do your parents are they righties or lefties?
Right-handed.
Okay.
My parents are right-handed. Actually, I think everybody in my family write with their right hand. I don't think anybody. My nephew might end up being left-handed. I think he tries to write with his left hand. But other than that, for the most part, everybody write with their right hand.
Oh, cool.
As far as I know. So
my mom, she writes with her left hand.
Oh, so really?
Yeah, I'm not
ambidextrous.
I'm not that. But I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be just like my mom. Like everything that my mom did, from wearing, except when she used to get us suits made, I hated it. Like now when I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh, that's cute, but as a little girl, I didn't want to wear those suits. But like I wanted to wear heels. I wanted my hair to look like my mom. Like I remember one time I got my hair done, it did not look like my mom, and I cried in the seat like, that does not look like my mom. So yeah, I wanted to be like my mom, but she's a lefty. So I remember like trying my best to write with my left hand. It looks like Nala Noah wrote it. But yeah, that's cool that you're actually able to do it and it's clear, it's legible. So that is talent.
It is talent.
America's Got Talent.
I also I'm really into photography. So yes, I do film, I write scripts, everybody knows that, but I really love like not taking pictures of people. I love taking pictures of environments, just flowers and buildings and like just getting the lines. Like I would get in the middle of the street to take a picture of the scenery. Yeah. I super love photography. It got to the point where I was like, oh, I should make a page for this, like just to show like just the different places that I've been and all the photography that I've taken. The only reason I got into it was after my Nana had passed away and I started taking pictures of flowers. I I still remember the picture of the first flower that I took. It was a white flower on the other side of a fence. And I took a picture of it. And since then, every time I saw a flower, I would take a picture. And then that grew into like buildings. I love every time I see, I will stop. People will leave me. I'm like, I'll catch up with y'all. I will take a picture, like different angles. I will squat down. I'll get into a split. I'll get to a split to take a picture. Like, so while I was on vacation, I got some really, really, really good shots. And I think I sent a picture to Yaya, and you told me it looks like a postcard. And I was like, I definitely want to get back into building my business around greeting cards, with just different type of scenic backgrounds. I've always loved like cards that, one, they were empty on the inside so that you can fill it with whatever you wanted to, but also just random images on the front. Like, that's not necessarily saying happy birthday or anything, but just sharing that card with whatever image would relate to that person. So I definitely want to get back into it, especially since I have a camera that I don't use. I use my camera more often than anything, my phone camera more often than anything, because it's always with me. But I definitely want to get back into using my Canon camera and getting back into taking pictures, and then getting into photography editing. So that is the next phase for me. It's funny because my mom's into photography too, and she's trying to get back into it. So recently we went to a thrift shop, and she bought like these antique cameras that she's going to add to her new office. And I ended up purchasing a projector, an old school like slide projector that when you would push the button to go and it would show like the pictures every time you change the projector. I bought it because it was $15 and it looked really cool. Wow. Right. And it was by Kodak, and it still came in the case and everything. So I was like, yeah, whenever I get space for it, I'll have it sent to me. I don't have space for it right now. But it was really dope to go into the thrift store and just see all these old things that connect to like things that we're doing now. So to create a space that just shows the old and the new. So yeah, I'm definitely also going to print a lot of the shots that I took from this last trip. I'm going to put them on my wall. I've been super, super excited about that, especially this one photo from Juneau that I took with the Juneau with the mountains in the background with the snow on it and this beautiful field of flowers. I can't remember what the flower is called, but that's one of my favorite shots from the trip. I'm definitely going to print that one out. It's beautiful. But yes, photography and ambidextry. I just made that. It's not ambidextrous, it's ambidextrous, but I'm ambidextry.
Oh my God. It's not with the industry. I love the idea for the postcards 100% because that was mine and my aunt's thing before she passed away. She traveled a lot, and every time that she went somewhere, she would give me a postcard. But a lot of times she mailed it from where she was at. Nice. And I remember when we were in New Orleans earlier this year, I wasn't really feeling the keychains too much. I was focused for my nephew Jordan on finding a postcard, and it was so difficult to find one. I didn't even get one. Like they didn't have any at all. So I think if like you were able to create postcards along with your line, that would be really good. That would like come into, because I mean, I'm sure there are other people out there who will want it, or people maybe that never seen or heard of a postcard. They'll think that's dope, like, oh, a card with lines on the back, like that's
it. You don't have to open it, you just send it on its way.
Yeah. So shout out to you and your talent.
Thank you. Shout out to you and your talent, baby. You could draw and I could turn it into a postcard.
Ooh.
See, look at that. Collaboration. LoveLoudd. Boom bow.
Bow boom.
And that is it for our dorm story segment. Hope you enjoyed us sharing what our talents are. And please let us know, what is your talent?
Yes. Let us know if you've got the sniff talent too. I want to know.
People don't have to sniff to do it. I know a lot of men that can do it. It's very few women that I know that can do it. Okay, I can't do it, but
you can't move your back.
I'm not trying to move my back. I'm actually moving my stomach. It's my diaphragm I'm moving. Nope, I can't do it. I don't have to wait if I do it with my arms. Well, look. But I gotta do this to do it.
It's muscle control. All right, let's move on to
I'm doing it.
No. Well, next segment.
heading on over into the community news. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements.
I got an idea. Can I do ad-lib like it's time, it's time, it's time?
Only if it
It's
matches.
time, it's time.
Only if it matches up, because that does not match.
It's time.
Let's try it. Let's see.
Okay.
It's time for
It's time,
announcements.
it's time.
It's time for
It's time,
announcements.
it's time.
It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. Maybe.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Let us know if you approve on it.
Oh my gosh, this was a really good episode. I think I might have enjoyed most just, I don't know, I guess sharing like the talent aspect and using your gifts. I love talking about that, especially for those that haven't listened to our episodes in the past.
Yeah.
Now you get to hear now. Use that talent. Don't
Sounds
let
like a
it
TV
go to
show.
waste.
Use that talent.
Right. But yes, no, I always just the motivational aspect of it, because sometimes a word comes when you least expect it or when you really need it, and that just this episode may have been just exactly what somebody needed to hear. So whoever that message was for, I hope you hold on to it, grasp it, and actually use your talent so that the world can see it. Shout out to our guest, Miss LeKeitha Haynes.
Yes, girl.
All right, the one who is the arts teacher, the entrepreneur. We very much appreciate you having you on the show. Make sure y'all are down in the description following all 3 pages, as well as her YouTube channel, to keep up with all that she's doing for the kiddos, and for you to, check out her art, see if there's something that you would like to have, support her gift, following the page, purchasing the gift, checking out what she does. All of that is considered support. So make sure you show some love to Ms.Haynes. That's the Clark Atlanta University alumni. You know what I love too? I love meeting people that are from Clark Atlanta that I didn't know while you were there. While I was at Clark Atlanta. Yeah. And Miss LeKeitha Haynes just happens to be one of those people that I met here in New York. It was crazy because I was the school that we worked at together, all the classrooms are named after colleges, and she wasn't at the school yet because no teachers were there for the summer. So I was like, oh, Clark Atlanta, not realizing it was her classroom name because that's the school that she went. So I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, y'all gonna represent with Clark Atlanta in the building, because another classroom was called Morehouse. So I just thought they just had different school, but that one was actually Clark Atlanta because she went to that school. So I thought that was so dope. So yeah, shout out to her.
Yes. Okay, so our next announcement is our question of the month, which is asking, what's your favorite board game or card game?
Yes.
Or thriller?
Oh, I got a few. It was so fun because since we were on the cruise for 10 days, we used one of those days to have a girls' night, and we played Uno. My granny didn't know how to play Uno, and I taught her how to play. She cooked my auntie. My auntie still want to clarify it as cheating. I didn't cheat. I helped her win. So if you want a rematch, when I come home, it's on and popping. Because now Granny know how to play.
Do you play according to the rules or black rules?
I don't know what black rules are. We don't play the doubles like 1-1-1. I don't do the stacks. I'm like, what is that? I don't like that.
So you play according to Uno's rules?
Yes, I guess I play according to Uno's rules. I hate I'm picking up 5 at it. No, like come on.
I don't know. You just trying picking up 5.
Yeah, like if you depend on if I got a whole bunch of 1s and I put it down on a 1, like I can put down 5 cards. Like
I thought you meant they gotta pick up from the.
No, like that's how many they put down. Like I got all, that's a red one, something on a blue one, a green one. Like no, that's not how you play. That's not how you play.
That's how we do.
That's the
unless I play with my mom.
That's the made up rules.
I play the made up rules.
But I do like the new rules in Uno. Like they have cards where you gotta move your hand to the left. Like that's in the new Uno game. Like I follow those new rules that they added in there, or like reshuffling the deck or like stuff like that. But I don't play the black rules. Okay. I generally play the regular Uno way. But it was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun having a girls' night on the trip. We also played bingo.
Okay, so if you want more information about the games that we like to play, whether it's a card game or a board game, we will be posting our question of the month video. Oh, it may be posted already. So go to our YouTube page if you're not watching us on YouTube, and tap that button for our latest question of the month video to find out more details about the games that we play. My hand got stuck in my wig. I tried to Okay, anyway. So yeah, we posted on our YouTube page and our Instagram page as well. If we ever get a spill page, we'll let y'all know. But it'll be posted on our media
social media platforms.
Thank you. Our social media platforms, so you can respond or comment, whatever.
Yes, absolutely. And it may have passed just based on the fact that this episode has come out today. But I have to let y'all know that LoveLoudd Day was Tuesday, August 8th, which means we have embarked upon 7 years of business.
Dang.
And 15 years of friendship, y'all. 15 years. 15. 15 years since 2008 to 2023.
Wow.
15.
So there was
a long time.
There was this video that Monie sent to the group chat the other day or yesterday.
What video?
There was a couple, man and woman, sitting in someplace in their home, and they said they have a marriage meeting every week with each other, and they talk about the next trip that they're going to take, the bills that are due, the next time they're going to spend quality time with each other, what's going on for that week, everything. And I was like, yo, that's me and Simone. Like, we don't go together, but you know, we're friends. Like, we're really close friends. We just not. I mean, we are intimate with each other in the vague definition, because I learned what intimacy is from my cousin's podcast. But you know, like, we hang out, we spend time together, we hold hands, so we're intimate, but we don't bang choo choo triangles.
Not bang choo choo.
But we have meetings every Sunday. Now it's gonna be Tuesdays added in there, where we talk about our plan for LoveLoudd, and then we throw in some personal things in there too. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I guess that's how our business has stayed afloat, because you have to have these meetings in order to know what's going on and to be on the same accord, and how your personal life is going to interject or play a role in that part as well. So I thought about us when you sent that.
I mean, they do say, some say that marriage is a business. So, I mean, the fact that I've never saw that before, not to say that people don't do it, but to see that they actually do that was actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Well, I shared it, I was like, yes, come on, planning it out together.
Yeah, but it's really important too, because a lot of times friendships fall apart. We had an episode of talking about our friendship on Unpacked and Detangled, and we didn't know, but we both at one point in our lives felt like, dang, are we not best friends anymore, because we don't see each other as much. We live on different coasts. We don't speak as much as we did when, I feel like our friends defined our friendship, because I've wondered that too, like, when did Simone become my best friend? Like, how did I feel like she was my best friend? I feel like the step team and then other people just started referring to each other.
Because you ain't see one without the other.
Yeah, like, but we never got the definition of like, that's y'all's roommate. It was like, literally, we got the tag of best friend and went along with it. So thank God for 15 years of friendship. Thank God for you being blessed enough to move to Brooklyn, to be closer and to continue our relationship with one another. You get on my nerves sometimes, I get on your nerves too, but that's what love is about, and we're doing it loud.
Yep, we're loving each other loudly, not bang choo choo channeling.
But yeah, shout out to us, and shout out to the people who put our sale too.
Yes, absolutely. Hope y'all got some good things. I mean, even without the sale, you can still go to the website.
Yes,
buy you a couple of things.
Website.
You know, it's about to get chilly, so get yourself a crew neck, a beanie.
I've been seeing people this summer, some girls in a different part of New York were walking around with sweatshirts and shorts. So
I guess they was getting prepared for the evening when it cools down.
Probably, but yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then coming up, August 15th, it is Relaxation Day. What will you do or not do? Come on now.
Come on.
To relax.
Come with it.
Relaxation Day. You got an idea what you're going to be doing to relax? Are we going to be painting?
I'm thinking it's on a Tuesday. If it was not on a Tuesday, I would go to Sojo. I love going to that spa. I went this year once, but I do love that spa house. It's really, really nice. But it's on a Tuesday, and I'm trying not to take off any days before my vacation that I still have yet to plan. But maybe I can go to the regular spa, like get a regular massage, have some wine or champagne after work, and and just chill, and settle down.
Yes.
Do what I want to do that day.
Yes.
What about you?
Should.
She probably gonna take a bubble bath with her meditation. Maybe you should do your sound bowl. I'm making up her day. What you want?
I don't even own a sound bowl. She's talking about doing my sound bowl.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I'm gonna get her one. We can be twins.
Yeah, what? Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Maybe some meditative walking. I haven't done that in a while. But it's definitely something I'm gonna think about. Bubble baths are usual for me. So me taking a bath, that's normal. That's self-care Saturday with the jazz music.
Relaxation day.
Yeah, that's just an extra bath though. Like that, I want to do an extra relaxation, like out of the ordinary. Actually, you know what? I think I might spend some time actually like chilling and reading a whole chapter of a book that I've been trying to catch up on. I think I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna put that on my list. I'm gonna actually take some time and read a whole chapter of a book. I'm not gonna time myself. I'm just gonna read the chapter until I'm done.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Is she gonna have her phone do not disturb?
I am, because I do not want to be disturbed.
I'm gonna put sin anyway.
See, I'm gonna leave. You know what? I'm gonna read in the living room and leave all my tech in my bedroom.
That laptop, I'm like,
nope, I'm not.
Turn the sound
I'm not gonna hear it because I'm gonna have my headphones on.
it's going ding. Your watch going.
See, now I'm turning everything off.
Monie joined the Apple iWatch family.
I did.
That's an announcement.
She forced me.
I did not.
She did.
She said it would be nice.
She was like, if you don't get this watch, we can't do our fitness goals together.
That's not
That's
true.
what she said.
I said it would be nice to not have to take these screenshots anymore and share my workout, stuff with you. But
It was luckily there was a sale. I got a promotional deal, and I only had to put like $30 down. So that was the steal for me. So
yes.
boom, bada bing, bow bow.
And our last announcement is that our reviews, we're still accepting them. So if you're listening on Spotify, you can give us 5 stars. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, watching us on YouTube, please leave a review, whether it's a comment, whether it's the actual star. We like your feedback, and the feedback helps other people know about our podcast as well. Also, drop a comment on Instagram. If you send me a text or something, I'm not just post it on the website.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, please, we ask that you drop it on our platform because other people can see. I do love the text messages. I do love the word of mouth. But honestly, when I see the numbers, we got some people listening on that watch, I don't know who's watching. So I do to know Tabitha was watching and Susie, I don't know, I'm making this up, watch our podcast, or this person enjoys our content. So I do like that too, but I would also like if you're listening now, if you don't mind, so please leave a review on the podcast.
It's always a nice surprise being on Instagram and being tagged, like somebody's just having to pick up the book, or watching an episode or listening to an episode, and
we're getting tagged for opportunities too.
Right, stuff like that. That is all great. Please continue to tag and love us and send us reviews and tell people about us. Tell a friend, tell another friend about LoveLoudd.
Yes.
We appreciate all the vibes.
For sure. And other than that, I really enjoyed this podcast.
Yes, I do too.
I enjoyed my dress.
I bet you did.
Shout out to the creator of this dress. Shout out to LeKeitha. Shout out to me.
Yes.
You hear my wig? My hand got stuck again. I did not do that. And shout out to Monie.
Imagine getting stuck and your wig come with it.
It is definitely not secure either. It was secure at Beyonce's concert because I know I was going to be moving my head around.
She was that girl. She had to make sure that wig didn't unfurl. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But other than that, thank you so much, y'all, for being listeners of our podcast
and coming into another episode.
Yes. And until 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Stay black.
Stay proud. Bow.